Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am Mike, also known as the Viking. Cheers. And since yesterday, I've been watching a lot of stuff about Neo, and I gotta say, everything he said was truth when it comes to our kids and not being old enough to make a life-altering decision. And I believe that a lot of what he said needed to be said. So much that last night I actually took it to Facebook and left a post. As you can see, it's a bit of a long post, but I wanted to share this, and I don't know how this is going to affect the growth of this channel. I don't know if it's going to reach people or if it's going to anger a lot of people, but being a Christian-based channel and the fact that the people that are subscribed here are Christians, I'm sure that you all would agree with this too. But I wanted to share this because I believe that this is important. Here's what the post read. I feel this has to be said. I support what Neo said about kids shouldn't be able to make a life-altering choice. Let kids be kids and enjoy their youth without all this deception confusing them. It's insane that you have to be 16 to drive, 18 to drink or smoke, or join the military, and 21 to drink. But a 5-year-old can choose their gender and decide to have a life-altering choice. In my opinion, this is insane. I believe in two genders and that God assigns our gender in the womb. I also believe children need to be protected and should not be able to decide to have a life-changing surgery. I believe in God's gift of free will too. If an adult chooses surgery to change their gender, well, you do you, boo-boo. But a child isn't old enough to make a decision that big. Their brains and bodies are still developing. And then again, there's the post. I don't know how this is going to affect this channel, but it has to be said. It has to be out there, and I do believe children need to be protected. They should not have to deal with all this, with all the transgender stuff either right now, because they're kids. All kids, well, back when I was a kid, all we wanted to do was go out and play and have fun. And sometimes get in a little trouble. I mean, that's a kid thing. And when I helped my sister raise her kids, that's all they wanted to do was go out, have fun, hang out with us, and play video games or go play some basketball or pass a football around. And if you're a girl that likes to play sports, that don't mean that you're more than likely actually a male. It means you're a girl that likes sports. There's a lot of women's sports out there. If you're a guy that plays with dolls with your action figures, I was one of those guys. I grew up just being the only boy in the house, playing with my sister. So I'd take my G.I. Joes and my Ninja Turtle and Power Ranger action figures, and we'd play with my sister and her Barbie dolls. I mean, that doesn't mean you're actually meant to be a girl. It just means you wanted to have fun and play, and you're spending time with your sibling. Or if you don't have a sibling, but your best friend is a girl and you're a guy, and or vice versa, it doesn't mean anything. It means that that's your friend. But this whole pushing all of this on the kids, it actually sickens me, because I believe kids need to be protected. They need to be able to be kids, because when that childhood ends, it's going to be a whole lot of stress. Why put stress on them right now? Now, when they reach that age of 18 where they can make their own decisions, they're no longer under the parents, then whatever they choose then, that's their free will. But when they're little kids still being raised up and learning and developing in this life, that's what they need to focus on. Now, I'm not a supporter of the alphabet soup group, but I don't judge either. The way I see it, God gave us all free will to choose how we live our lives. But He also tells us to look out for the children, protect them, because a child is precious, and they are the future after we're all gone. What would this world be like after we're all gone and everyone lives in extreme confusion? I mean, unless the rapture took place before then, which I actually believe we're heading that way, just based on the fact that prophecies are being fulfilled now, and I believe this is one. But when it comes to our children, just let them be kids. Let them enjoy not having a stressed out life, or a not highly stressed out life. Because I do remember school being stressful, but other than that, that was my only stress. And like every adult, and like everyone told me, if you think school is stressful, wait till you turn 18 and you have to step into the workforce. Oh yeah. Believe me, there's days I wish I could go back for one day and just be a kid for a day back in the late 80s, early 90s, just to have one day without the stress. But I believe everything happens for a reason. And I believe those thoughts, when they come into my head, are a reminder. And it is a way of helping me to get the words out I'm trying to say, which is, I know what it's like to be a kid and not be stressed out. I know that the adults were right when they told me that growing up, to just enjoy it and stop wishing to grow up. Enjoy not being so stressed out like we are. So we need to stop putting all this pressure on these kids and just let them be them. Let them enjoy life while they can. And this deception, it just has to end. Because there is only two genders. And you cannot change your gender. You can change your outward appearance all you want, but it doesn't change your DNA. But I'm sure give it time and they'll find a way to do that too. But I believed all of this needed to be said. And I know this is a longer video, but I believe this was important after seeing all the stuff with Neo and coming across all this stuff online about, the transgender story times and all that. and how they're now teaching kids all of this alphabet soup group stuff in school. I believe this needed to be said, because when it comes to school, it should only be about learning the basics: science, math, English, history, and of course PE, which I sometimes liked, sometimes hated. I loved it on basketball and baseball days, and soccer. But teaching kids the different genders and sexualities, they're deceiving them. Because there's only two. There's male and there's female. And while you can change your outward appearance all you want, if you want to change, you can't change your DNA. And I've seen crazy things all over YouTube. There's even trans species now. There was this guy that spent about 20 grand just to be a collie because he had a fetish for sniffing dog butts. It didn't want to be attacked. He wanted to actually look like a dog. I mean, we live in a very sick and wicked world, but God told us this would be toward the end, that it would get darker, that those who stood in the light would be hated, those who stood in the darkness would be looked at as standing in the light, good would be looked at as evil, evil as good. So I believe we're heading towards those final days. And all I got to say to that is cheers. And I'm going to try to reach as many as I can. Through God's word. But I guess I'm going to leave it at that. I love you all. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. And look after the kids. Make sure that the kids are protected. Have a wonderful day.